Hello everyone, my name is Adedapo.
My name is Train.
And this is the first episode of EdgePlus Creative's flagship podcast program called EdgePod. On today's program, we're going to be looking at Nigeria's presidential election to be precise, the aftermath of it, and we'll also be looking at what it holds for the youth, especially those of us in the creative industry. And also, we'll also be looking at some of the bits and pieces that we've been hearing so far. Mind you, we will not want to say anything that will put us in trouble.
We're just neutral.
We're neutral, Train. So everyone woke up March 1, Happy New Month, and then we heard that 4 a.m. they've announced that Bola Ahmed Tinubu
has won the election.
So I want to get your reaction. What was your first reaction?
Actually, there was no surprise because we're all awake all through the night waiting for...
I must correct that notion. I wasn't awake. I wasn't awake. I was sleeping.
Me and my family.
Yeah, you're okay. Well, you guys were.
Me and my family were awake, so we're just at home. And I think the process at which they were collating the results led to how late the result came out, because they were doing it manually. So I think that was the issue. So...
yeah, I must come in there, because when I woke up because then the first time like a normal Nigerian youth, whenever anything happens, I wake up, the first thing I do is open my eyes, then I go on social media. And I saw it there, Bola Ahmed Tinubu wins Nigeria's presidential election. It didn't come as a shocker, but at the same time I was expecting maybe like an 11th hour miracle. But I don't know, I already thrown in the towel already, but I'm like, okay, no problem. But then you mentioned something I want us to look at. That's the manual coalition. Yeah. We have many tech bros, Texas in the country that like making noise on social media. We know how to do this, we can do this. But we still find out that a country that's supposed to be the leader in Africa is still manually collating results. What did you make of that?
To be honest, I don't really know, because sometimes it feels like we're going back in time. Nigeria is supposed to be progressing, but looking at it, we the young ones, we're getting into the space of tech and we know what to do. So seeing things like that gives us a notion like these people, they don't even know what they're doing. But then we know that they know what they're doing, because obviously they talked about BVAS.
Yeah, the modal verification accreditation system.
They talked about BVAS last year, and the one of the promises made by the INEC chairman was that BVAS was going to work, and we're going to have all results uploaded. So I can't really say, but I feel like it's just Nigerian way of handling their things.
Did you vote?
No, I didn't.
Well, I did, and I must share my experience with those of you watching us. When at my polling unit, it started really smoothly. I think we tend not to believe that Nigerians can behave themselves. And if there's one thing I saw that Saturday, was the way Nigerians were orderly. Nigerians came out, everybody. Be on the line. Nobody was trying to influence anybody, but everyone just picked the number. I was number 80, and everybody picked the number. And even somebody will tell you, "Oh, you are here, okay? Or do you want to go?" They allow the pregnant women go. So this shows that Nigerians, despite the many notions that we have that we're not good people, Nigerians in the right circumstances can be good people.
Definitely.
So, as I was saying, and I also the BVAS, after we finished voting, we now heard that they cannot upload. I want to see something like that. What do you think will come to anyone's mind?
Firstly, when I said I didn't vote, I want you to look at it from this perspective. We're talking about BVAS now. Right back to 2017, when I went to get my voter's card.
Your PVC, permanent voter's card.
I did that in Kogi State, and I relocated to Lagos, obviously, and I've been in Lagos for quite a while now. So I felt like we ought to have been in the space where you can get your PVC anywhere and vote anywhere why would you be limited to where you got your PVC to vote? Obviously, those were my turn off.
Yeah.
So I actually felt like if these guys really wanted us to do this thing the proper way, it would have been done that anybody can just wake up and leave their house to vote. If I get my voter's card in Ikeja,
Exactly.
and I'm in Igondo, on the voting day, do I have to travel down to Igondo to vote? And there's no means of transportation, and also they've made the system so rigorous and terrible already.
And that's a very good one that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Nigerians voted in a time that we're facing fuel scarcity.
Yeah.
There was no cash. There was economic hardship for many.
Yeah.
And many people came out in their numbers.
Yeah.
Doesn't this tell the government something that these are people? Let's at least...
I had a lot of things to consider. So whether I should go to Kogi to vote or not. A friend texted me and he was like, are you going to vote? Where did you get your PVC? I was like, I bought it in Kogi. He said he's traveling back to Kogi to vote. I could see how people are interested in voting. But the government, on the other hand, are not making it easy for us. Just imagine me leaving Lagos to Kogi State. I have to consider cash. I have to consider my safety.
Your safety, that's very much exactly. Kogi State and it's in the North Central
where we know that
there's mandatory, there's
insecurity and all that. So I just had to sum up my mind that okay, let the people that can do it, let them do it, and let's see what the results will
that's an interesting analysis. As a generation that is social media savvy, we saw youths, people traveling to go and vote. Because I use Twitter a lot, and I saw this video of this, like they like to call them Gen Z.
Yeah.
They were traveling in a lorry down to go and vote. We have people travel from foreign countries to come vote.
Definitely.
So, and that's now one thing that now raised another issue of INEC saying that people did not come out to vote.
Do you know how unfortunate it is that people had to do that stress to come and vote, and we are hearing that okay, the result is not uploaded. They are not uploading the result on the Beavers. It's very frustrating. I can see the point at which we Nigerians are at this point, because it is saddening. It is so inconvenient. It is very tiring, because we've really put our effort into this.
It's quite inconvenient.
Yeah. We gave in all our effort, and today.
Yeah, I think that's one thing they cannot take away from with the Nigerian youth. That this election, either it is the noise we made on social media, or it is the actions that we performed. One thing that the people cannot take away from us is that once Nigerian youth set their mind to something,
they will definitely
do it.
They'll do it.
Train, as we know, Tinubu is the name on people's lips. Either those that support or those that don't support, for reasons that there's known to them. But individually of his presidency, let's now look at the creative sector where you and I belong. We've seen Tinubu when it was his time as a governor, that was in 1999 to 2007. He came up with creative ideas like a day governor. We saw the explosion of maybe home videos and those things to a level. But now that he's at the presidency level, what promise does he hold for the creative industry? Because we know that people in the creative industry, they are being targeted in one way or the other. What now do you think a sustainable presidency will do for the creative industry and creatives alike?
Okay, so some few days before the election, I watched a video on YouTube where he had an interview with, I can't remember, but he had an interview. There were some basic stakeholders there. They asked him, and it was like, for you to be a successful president, you have to be creative. Your ideas, your strategies, and all that.
Tinubu said that?
Yeah, and I can remember in back to when he was ruling as a governor, there was this initiative that he did then, that WAEC was free for secondary school. I think my sister was part of those who benefited from that initiative. So, like, then people were leaving public school to private school. People were leaving private school to public school just to get their WAEC done. So I feel like he sees what's going on, because one of his interviews was saying that he doesn't go online anymore because of
people laugh
at him. So I feel like he's not anti-social. That means he goes online, he sees what's going on. And
I saw a video of him dancing there, and I said, this is what the youth want.
So I feel like you should be able to balance the...
Yeah, one thing where me and I don't see eye to eye is how he can replicate it at the national level.
Yeah.
That time, all these things that we made was during his reign as governor. We've had many governors come after him, like 3 different governors have come after him. And now he's even older. Does he still have that mental acuity to continue that?
I really can't say. How old is his wife again?
Maybe around 60 something.
60. So I feel like probably some whisper in his ear from I don't know, maybe the other.
It seems like you're dancing around the topic. I understand. So in our final closing arguments, because I don't want to put in our final closing remarks, on a scale of 1 to 10, are you looking, what if after everything he still remains Nigeria's president? What do you think on the scale of 1? What will you grade? How much are you looking forward to this?
Okay, so from the past few years that we've seen people rule us in this country, Nigeria does not have a progressive plan, in the sense that, okay, there's a foresight for Nigeria, maybe Nigeria creative industry or Nigeria at large, and probably maybe the next person governing Nigeria is going to work according to plan. But if you've noticed Tinubu's government, you will have seen that there's a progressive plan for Lagos State at the state level from Tinubu's tenure to this point. So I feel like if he indeed is the master planner as we ought to know him as when he governed Lagos, then he should be able to come up with a strategy as regards a progressive plan for Nigeria. He might not really have much.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
this is 5.
I'm going with the 3, and that's putting it really lightly. So I think this is a good place to draw the curtain on the discussion around the elections and what it holds for the youth and the creative sector. We're going to be doing EdgePod podcast more.
Definitely.
But this is our first episode, and I think we've been able to share some of our insights,
experiences,
the best that we can. And as time goes on, we're sure we're going to hold your attention.
Sure. So look forward to seeing.
I was looking forward to seeing our faces on EdgePod, and on this note,
and seeing more faces.
Yes, and seeing more faces. On this note, this is where we say
goodbye.
My name is Adedapo.
My name is Train.
Train. Man.
Badge.
Yeah.